Well, hey there guys, I'm Axel the Beast and this is the Curiosity Shop, the geek, gaming, and pop culture video mailbag, and today I'm answering all kinds of questions. Alright, so our first question comes from Axel the Beast. When are you going to give my body back? It's me! Booyah! Scares in every... What? He seems to be gone now, I guess. I guess he only had one hit left in him. Pathetic. Well, hey there, guys. I, as I'm sure you have noticed, am not Axel, except I am. I am Shadow Axel. You know, like Shadow Link. Wizrobe. I mean, what did you think happened when Wizrobe got Axel at the beginning of the month in that Halloween video? You thought he was just going to go back to normal? We don't leave people back to normal. You know, Axel's been gone for a long time, but that don't mean he gets to have it easy. So, we've put our best foot forward, and I've taken over his body. It's mine now. This is my mailbag, and I'm going to be answering the questions. And I'll be doing it in the name of Ganon, or Girahim, or Demise, really whoever's up at this point. It doesn't really matter to me. So let's get to it. We will just be crossing out that first bit there. And oh, that question sucks too. Let's just cross all these out. We don't need to deal with those. So our first question comes from Chad Novak. Would you like a Majora's Mask treatment for a continuation of Breath of the Wild but less linear? Nah, Breath of the Wild sucks. JJ asks, would you ever like to see a Zelda fighting game? No! PJC Link asks, do you like Soul Calibur? If so, what is your favorite Soul Calibur game? Also, what are your thoughts on Soul Calibur VI? Do you think that Soul Calibur VI should be ported to the Switch at some point? If so, which Nintendo character would you like to see make a guest appearance? Would Samus be possible? Well, let's see here. No, dunno, don't care, no, don't care, no. Dualmark asks, are you a Castlevania fan? What's your favorite game in the series? Finally, have you seen the animated series on Netflix? Yeah, I'm a big fan of Castlevania. You know, all that dark, dreary castle, the evil forces, the demonic influence, and all that stuff. It's good stuff. And Dracula's a good guy. Big fan of him. Maybe I'll be working for him sometime soon, eh? The Netflix anime sucks, so who cares? But as for my favorite game in the series, that would be Castlevania 2. Darkrar Let's Play asks, have you played The Elder Scrolls? What is your opinion on the series? And if you played it, Imperial or Stormcloak? Why? Well, the series is fine, but you ain't asking the right question there, buddy. Imperials or Stormcloaks? Are you kidding me? You gotta get with the times. We're talking the Dagoths. We're talking the Volkihar clan. JJ has another question here with the topic of judgment and spooky things. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Darksiders 3? Oh, I love Darksiders. What, are you kidding me? I mean, end of the world, post-apocalypse, most of the people dead. It's good stuff. Not to mention, I would excel in such a world. I mean, come on. It'd be a dog-eat-dog world, baby. I mean, as for Darksiders 3 specifically, we're getting back to the good stuff. The post-apocalyptic cities, the destroyed landscapes, and all that good stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, the dead plains and the demon places in Darksiders 2 were great, but come on, gotta get that post-apocalypse going on. Miss Basilisk asks, what is your favorite, or for you, the most memorable version of Impa? Well, I mean, I have my own other reasons for picking this, but let's go with this. What would be the most memorable time in a person's existence? Because I would say that's probably after they're dead, where they're remembered for all time and whatnot. So let's go with the decrepit old lady who from Skyward Sword, who finally we get to see just die on camera after she gave my boss so much trouble. That was Demise. That was like my third or fourth boss at some point down that line. And last, and definitely least, is another question from Miss Basilisk. What's with you guys and asking so many freaking questions here? She asks, who is your favorite Zelda side character, or plural if it's tied? Kilton. Well, alright, you little weirdos. I hope you like the mailbag this time, because this is what it's going to be like from now on, because this is my mailbag. It's my body. It's all mine now. It's going to be like that from here on out. It's give my body back!
No, it's mine! No! No! It's mine! No! Oh. Oh. God. This
good to have my body back. Oh, God, you know what it's like being a ghost for like a month? Jeez. Well, I guess he made a mess of things, but, you know, we can still salvage this because, you know, he's Dark Axel. Some of the answers are sort of like what I'd give. I can give you guys the corrections on what I think of these questions. When am I going to give my body back? Today. You're right. Chad Novak asked, would you like Majora's Mask treatment for continuation of Breath of the Wild but less linear? Yeah, ignore Dark Axel. I'm not opposed to this idea. I've talked about this before. There are things about Breath of the Wild that I think could use improving in the next game, but it's not a bad game at all. Don't take that seriously. I definitely think reusing its engine and assets could be cool and be a good way to build on the next game. I'm not opposed to the idea. JJ asked, would you ever like to see a Zelda fighting game? Again, sure, definitely, because I'm all for spin-offs. They don't change they're not an issue with regards to a series, no matter how odd they are. I would take this in a more unusual direction, something like Bushido Blade, Power Stone, Smash Brothers, some kind of more unusual arena fighting game style, but yeah, just in general, I don't mind the idea at all. PJC Link asked, do you like Soul Calibur? If so, what is your favorite Soul Calibur game? Also, what are your thoughts on Soul Calibur VI? Do you think Soul Calibur VI should be ported to Switch at some point? If so, which Nintendo character would you like to see make a guest appearance? Would Samus be possible? So it's a series I've admired from a distance. I have not played one, so I can't comment on a favorite. 6 looks interesting. It might be the one I end up playing because it's the most recent and whatnot. I would love to see it ported to the Switch. That goes for most things. I want the Switch to succeed. And as for what character could make it in, Samus isn't impossible, especially since like after Darth Vader and Yoda made it in the series, anything's possible. But I feel like maybe a Fire Emblem character would be more likely. Or, like, honestly, as nuts as it would sound, I'd probably, my vote would go to Donkey Kong. Dual Mark asked, are you a Castlevania fan? What's your favorite game in the series? Finally, have you seen the animated series on Netflix? So yes, I am, but again, slightly from a distance. I've played several games, Castlevania 2, Legacy of Darkness, which was like an upgrade of Castlevania 64, and Circle of the Moon. But these are some of the worst or more obscure games in most people's minds, so I don't feel comfortable picking a favorite out of that limited pool. It would probably be Circle of the Moon, though, if I was forced to. And it's just a series I want to get more into because I'm very invested in and knowledgeable about it, and really just want to play more games. So yeah, I love Castlevania. It's one of my top favorite series. And yes, I have seen the animated series, and I will be doing a video about that fairly in-depth one very soon. Darkrow Let's Play asked, have you played The Elder Scrolls? What is your opinion on the series? And if you played it, Imperial or Stormcloak, and why? So I haven't played Elder Scrolls, again, sort of looked at it from a distance. Unlike the other ones, though, I've had less interest in it. I was interested in Skyrim because of the action look to the gameplay, and I guess I have some interest in Morrowind because it's very talked about, but it's not as much my thing. And really, it's something like I probably play Dark Souls over it, but I will probably play the series at some point. As for Imperials or Stormcloaks, probably Stormcloaks, just because that kind of rugged faction is more my style, but I don't really know for sure, and it'd probably be just role-playing whichever faction I agree with in the story. JJ was asking about what are your thoughts on the upcoming Darksiders 3. Really pumped about it, really excited about Darksiders being back in general, and I actually am really excited to see Earth again in the more artistic, more colorful Darksiders 2 style. I am a little concerned about some of the weird open world elements and the removal of dungeons in particular, which is oddly like Breath of the Wild in my mind. I'm not too excited about that, but I'm willing to see where the game goes, and I'm very interested. Miss Basilisk asked, what is your favorite, or for you, the most memorable version of Impa? Probably Skyward Swords. I just love that game's story in general, and that was a very cool Impa. I mean, I guess the most memorable is straight up Ocarina of Times, and will always be, but I really liked the Skyward Sword one, and that's my favorite, anyway. And of course, she also asked, who is your favorite Zelda side character, or plural if it's tied? And it is still Kilton. I totally agree with Shadow Axel on that one. Yeah, that's still true. Well, alright guys, that's it for this time, and yeah, it's really good to have my body back, because being disembodied for a month, it sucks. I'm actually kind of having trouble moving my body at this point, because I haven't been in it for a while, so yeah, I'll be taking a break next week as usual. But after that, I mean, send your questions, the contact information, description, make about whatever you want, you know, the usual, and I will get to you after next week. I will see you guys later.